everyone. My name is Tammy Scott. Welcome aboard. I am a nursing home administrator. I've been a nursing home administrator for a little over almost 12 years now. Not only am I a nursing home administrator, I have a master's degree in health service administration. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, so I love and enjoy what I'm doing. The reason why I became a nursing home administrator is because my brother got in a car accident when I was in middle school. And so that's the reason why I wanted to be in a nursing home administrator, is because when I was in middle school and my brother got in a car accident, my mom was disabled. So she had to place him in a nursing home. So basically I grew up in a nursing home ever since I was in middle school. So this is something that I always done. I love it. I enjoy it. I appreciate it and everything else. I started an organization called BLAHC, BLAHC, which basically stands for Black Leaders and Administrators in Healthcare. The mission of the organization is basically for the Black leaders and administration to come together and join forces to address certain issues that affect the Black communities around the world on a national and legislative level. And some of those issues that affect the Black community, of course, was the pandemic. So during the pandemic, a lot of issues happened and didn't get addressed in a timely manner. And also, as administrator, a lot of administrators felt like they didn't have the backing nor the support on a legislative national level, including myself. So I do want to say this. I don't speak for all administrators, but I do speak for myself. So as a nursing home administrator during these times when I was working, there's a lot of things that happen. And so I would like to address those issues because I felt like no one spoke up for me. No one voiced their opinion, or whatever opinion that they gave, it wasn't for me. A lot of things happened. A lot of administrators got a lot of backlash ever since the pandemic. As everyone knows, the pandemic was basically announced in March of 2020 by the president, at the time, Mr. Donald Trump. During that time, before then, I was doing an interim assignment. So I heard of the COVID in China way before then. I heard it the end of the 2019, December of 2019. I heard that it was a respiratory illness issue. So since it was in China, I knew on a matter of time that it was going to make its way to United States. But the thing was, during that time in February, when I was working at a nursing home, I was getting everyone equipped for it. I was educating everyone about the COVID. I was making sure that my team knew about it, how serious it was, how badly it's gotten, and for us to be, ready for it to happen. But of course, all administrators around the world did not know how bad it was going to get. No administrators. It doesn't matter how much we prepare ourselves, we got hit very hard. Plus in the nursing home field, we got hit very hard. There was a lot of decisions that was made on a national legislative level that we felt like someone could have came and asked us for our opinions about it. And some things was out of our control. And some things didn't make sense. So I want to address a lot of those issues. Like I said, I'm speaking for myself. If some other administrators feel like I hit it on the nail, kudos. If some administrators probably feel like I'm going too far. Some RDOs, corporate offices probably think I probably go too far. Even the legislative probably think I'm going too far. I don't care. Because these are the things that affect us in the black community. So as administrator, it's my job to be an advocate for these things. So in order for us to get better, I feel like we have to address those issues. So some of the issues based on the black community that we had during the pandemic, this is my first episode, so believe me, there are going to be a lot of issues that I address around the board. So please continue to watch, because I'm going to hit everything. Whatever needs to be hit, believe me, as an administrator, I'm going to hit it. And I don't care, because like I said, I felt like no one spoke for me. So first thing first, I just want people to understand, when it comes to the nursing homes, we always get the backlash. Hospitals don't get backlashes. Assisted living doesn't get backlashes like nursing homes. Hospice don't get backlashes like the nursing home. Nursing homes get a lot of backlash. And the reason being is a lot of individuals don't understand all the things that goes on into a nursing home. Everything that we have to do. Everything when it comes to the day-to-day operations that we have to deal with. So as administrator, the one that's on the top level, I can address those issues to let everyone know the things that we was having issues with during the nursing homes. So during the pandemic, first I want to focus on the pandemic itself. Like I said, that the pandemic was basically announced in March of 2020. All the administrators, well, not all, majority of the administrators can tell you that they was getting prepared around February. Like, administrators already knew, and clinical teams already knew how badly it had gotten. But of course, we can't do anything until on a national legislative level, when they said, okay, this is a pandemic, this is how we're going to address the issues. A lot of these issues that we had, like I said, was terrible. So the first thing first, I would like to address, during the pandemic, I felt like the communication was terrible. It was just terrible. Everybody was panicking. The individuals who supposed to have stepped up and spoke for us, the administrators, was the scientists and the doctors. A lot of politicians was doing that, but they was doing it the wrong way. So everybody was, then you have we just finished off an election. So everybody is still like everywhere. So it was just too much. So now that we have this pandemic, everybody know when 2020 happened, everybody was getting ready to have a good time during 2020, but it's like it hit us like no other. So the communication was definitely terrible. The individuals that we needed to speak up and talk was the doctors, the scientists, people from CDC. They did speak up, but their voices was not loud enough as the politicians. So when you have politicians' behaviors and them saying things that us as administrators and clinical individuals that don't sound right, it give us a standoffish. So a lot of people was very standoffish. Plus with the black communities, we have a history of things that happened during the years of, us being African Americans in United States, that our trust factor is already at a low. So when you have individuals who giving out false information and their behaviors is just everywhere, it mess up a lot of communication. So the communication was just terrible from the beginning. It was the rollout, everything. It was just terrible. So not only was the communication was terrible, our voices in the nursing home did not get heard. So everyone, if you remember, there was the nursing homes, I'm not going to say their names, but it was mostly around the midwestern, northwestern area, where a lot of elderly individuals that passed away during that time. So when that happened, everybody went to that nursing home and the administrator and gave them the woo, like, what is going on? And you never want to be the first administrator of a nursing home during a pandemic when something happens, because you're going to get a lot of backlash. But after that nursing home got hit, other nursing homes started to get hit, and now we understand that it's the elderly population. Our jobs as administrator is saying, how can we keep this out of our building? How can we keep this out of our building? So you say, how can you keep it out of your building? The first thing first is, if it's happening, that means is the visitors coming in, some of the staff coming in, sometimes the residents, when they leaving out, going to different appointments, they coming back with it. So our job is to, what can we do to keep this out our building? Every decision or every plan that we came up with, we got a lot of backlash for it. When the visitors, for us to, shut down visitation, that was hard. People think that, oh, the administrators are happy, the families can't come in the nursing home. No, that wasn't the case. We love sometimes when the families come in. Sometimes we have our reason, but we love when the families come in, because the families will tell us everything that goes on. So of course we wanted the families to come in. Like I said, I had a brother in the nursing home, so I could not go see him. So you have to understand, when visitors, their visitation went to 0, of course we understood that we have to keep it out of our building. But the families, they felt like we was going against them. So every administrator during that pandemic got all of that, all the heat from the families who want to come and see their loved ones, who used to come and see their loved ones every day. Then next thing you know, phone calls, left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right. Some of us couldn't even leave our desk because how many phone calls we was getting back to back, back to back, back to back. Do you guys have COVID? Do you guys have COVID? Is my loved ones okay? Them knocking on the door. Why we can't come in? Some of them, you put the sign on the door. They don't want to hear that. And some of them don't want to read the sign. And they calling the state on you because you don't let them in and see their loved one, when you just doing what you're supposed to do to keep it out. And the thing about it is, it's like, if you have a family member and they are RP of a certain resident, you tell that one family member they don't get along with their other family members. They don't tell them what's going on. So guess what? As an administrator, as a social worker, all of us have to basically tell that family member what's going on. Tell that family member what's going on. Tell that family what's going on. And we have to basically become and have a 20-minute, 30-minute conversation. We don't have 20 minutes and 30 minutes every single day to talk to 10 family members for one resident. This was very hard. This was very difficult for us. So, like I said, it was a lot of issues that we had during this time. And communication was definitely one. It was not only was communication was an issue, when the policies and procedures started to change, it became hectic. I'm gonna go over the policy and procedures in detail the next vlog I do, because the policy and procedures are long. And I really want to get in depth into that. And I know a lot of people want to hear that. But before I go into that, I wanted to say, during the pandemic, of course, we had issues. The main issues that we had during the pandemic is, of course, it was the visitation. Not only was it the visitation, it was families not able to bring items into the nursing homes. That was huge. A lot of residents look for those items. They need those items. They want those items. They want that food. They want those teddy bears. They want everything. You guys have to understand, we was at a point where the state shut that down. So when they shut that down, we had more backlash. We got so much backlash, it was crazy. So that became a huge issue. The residents not able to get certain items from their family members. That became, oh my God, so terrible. It was bad. Another thing, not only having the items, of course, you know, family members need clothes. They need certain things they probably get from the house that the nursing home is not responsible for. So now that the nursing home is not responsible for, we now have to look at our social worker, tell our social worker, look, we need you to go get these items for these residents. Tell the family members, if they don't have any money on their account, or don't have any petty cash or anything of some sort, we, of course, we have to figure that out. You have to understand, in the Black community, we already dealing with low income situation. Majority of them are on Medicaid. So if majority of them are on Medicaid, a lot of them are not getting a lot of items. So some of their family members sometimes are a big help. So when you shut that down, they don't have the money or the means to give to the nursing home for us to go get these items. In Black communities, we find ways to be able to get certain items. If certain things are donated, or family members can go to Goodwill to go get certain things, or they can go get it from family members who could bring it. But if you stop those items from coming in, now we have to go purchase these items that are brand new. So it became very hectic, plus for our social worker. Very, very, very hectic. So that right there was another issue. Another huge issue was the fact that some of the residents have appointments that's outside of nursing homes. So when they go and they leave and they go to these other clinics, you don't know what's going on at that clinic. You don't know. You don't know if they following procedures or anything. Nursing home is the second most regulated industry that's outside of NASA. So when you go into these other entities, specialties, you don't know what's going on over there. So when they come back, that's a whole different ball game now we have to worry about. And it became a huge, huge issue for us. We can't say no, they can't go to that clinic. They have resident rights. We have to respect their resident rights. So a lot of these things, that when it came down to the pandemic, it was resident rights versus the pandemic. Safety, resident rights. And as administrator, I was in the middle to have to figure out what is the best for the residents. And sometimes if the residents not getting what they want or used to, or not seeing family members, they get depressed. Who wants their residents to be depressed? Who wants their residents weight to fall? They don't want to eat. It's become an issue. They don't want to. Then not only that, during the pandemic, we had to shut the dietary down. So when you shut dietary, the dining room down, they not able to speak even with some of their friends that they used to at the nursing home. That's even depressing. We didn't like it. My staff didn't like it. No one understood when the mask mandation regulation came. That was hard. Just only imagine you having dietary aides and cooks now have to cook with masks. They know about the hairnet. They know about the gloves. They know about the apron. Now a mask. Administrators would tell you they have cooked in the kitchen before. They have assisted in the kitchen before. It's hot. It's nothing to play with. Now you have a mask on to breathe. Now you took the surgical. First, they started off the cloth mask. The state sent out cloth masks. Really, cloth masks. I knew that wasn't good. You better off sending surgical masks than cloth masks. They gave us cloth masks. Really, cloth masks. Then on top of that, they white. You think that these white cloth masks is not going to get dirty? That was terrible. Whoever sent those cloth masks, it was terrible. It was awful. You better off getting a surgical mask. So now they have these cloth masks with gloves on, trying to breathe, and they having a hard time breathing. In the heat, cooking. But guess what? As administrator, they come to me, Miss Tammy, it's hot back there. I can't breathe with that on. And I have to look them in their face and say, I understand. But please wear it. It's for your safety. Miss Tammy, I can't breathe. That's my safety. I'm going to fall out back there. So it doesn't matter how much cool air you give them. They still need to breathe. They are inhaling their own breath, their own CO2. Who wants to do that? No one. That's not safe. But we had to do it. It was terrible. We lost a lot of dietary aides because of that. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of cooks because of that. When you are talking about the black community, cooks is very important. Food is very important. As a nursing home administrator, it's our job to make sure the food is great. You telling residents to leave their homes or leave what they used to come and stay in a nursing home that might gonna be forever. The food have to be right. So not only you going through that, you cut down a dining room. So you cut down a dining room. Now you got to hurry up. The dietary aides and the cooks got to hurry up and put the food on the racks. Keep it hot in the hot box. So when they keep it hot in the hot box, they had to hurry up and push it out at a certain period of time. Sometimes they just used to putting the food down, pass it through the window or through the tray, and the CNAs help out and pass out the trays. Can't do that. Now I got to stay in the hot box. Goes from all this to the hot box, and they got to keep on prepping all these things. Go to different halls with this. In the meantime, the temperature is dropping, but you have the hot box. But wait a second. If you have lunch and dinner, some of them probably want ice cream. How do you keep the ice cream from not melting in a hot box? You can't. So while this food is going out, they have to wear all these gowns to go to each room to pass out the food. Then they have to leave and go back and get ice cream and do it again. Difficult. But wait a second. The rules and regulation is once you go inside a resident room with a gown, it must be taken off before you leave out their room. And you have to throw it away. So now you go from gown to gown to gown to gown from different rooms. You think that the CNAs was happy about that? The nurses? No. So guess what? They need help now. They need a lot of help. So now, as administrator, I have to pull the department heads from their duties and say, come on, let's help out on the floor. Doing dining services. It's okay for us to do that. There's nothing wrong when you're doing that because administrators do that. But during the pandemic, everybody had to put on gowns and do this. This takes time. This is not your regular fast pace. And we're trying to beat time so the food will not drop temperature. Because that is a state regulation. Can't let that happen. So this became very, very difficult for us. So not only that was an issue, of course, housekeeping was an issue when it first started. Because the right solution that we needed, we can use. Nursing homes can't use bleach. Ex-administrator, do they have bleach in their nursing home? Shh. Can't use bleach. So during the salute, all this with the housekeepers, housekeeper got to wear a mask. They have to do all these things. Housekeeper got to go room for room, cleaning out room for room. They got the shields on. They got everything. But guess what? They go to room and clean. Don't they have to take off their gowns? They touching surfaces when they in there because they have to clean. This was hard. No one want to talk about it. So guess what? Nurse home lost housekeeping services. So we are doing our best to get individuals to come and work into the nursing home. And still go through the issues of if the pay should be given, knowing the pandemic, they doing way more than they usually do. But we spending more money because it's the pandemic. It became a huge issue. So we budgeting. We doing all these things. But wait a minute. Some corporate offices out there, you know, they allow certain administrators to see what they want them to see when it comes to budgeting. As administrator, I've been doing it so many times. So a lot of people try to keep stuff away from me. You can't do that. I'm too good at accounting. I'm too good at day-to-day operations. I'm too good at budgeting. Too good at accounts payable and accounts receivables. Softwares. You can go get whoever you want. They come beat me with their eyes closed. So your job is to make sure you know what's going on in your nursing home. If someone say, no, we can take care of this, the RDO said we're going to take care of this, or the corporate worry about, you just worry about that. As administrator, you are responsible. They tell you you are the administrator of the building. So this is your building. You run this building how you want to run this building. Whatever the decision you make, that's the decision you make. That's a lie. Sorry. Over the years, I talked to my husband. He was like, no. It became, you borrowing that building. They are loaning you that building. Because your name is on that wall. Nah. If the RDO is the RDO and they are a consultant, they give you advice on what you should do. No. Come on, administrators. We know that. I didn't have RDOs who didn't have nursing home administrator license. I had VPs who didn't have nursing home administrator license and told me what I need to do in a nursing home. But I have to listen to them, because if I don't, I get fired. But my name is on the wall. But I have to listen to them. It became an issue during the pandemic. A huge issue. A big one. A lot of administrators got it. Some other issues that we had, of course, I only want to do it like 45 minutes because it's a lot of stuff we got to go over. I promise you guys are going to love it. So there was a lot of things that happened that we had issues with. Another other issue that we had was double reporting. You heard that sound. That's the sound that we hear all day, every day, if someone's trying to leave a building. That's a lurk. Nursing homes and administrators know that sound. The double reporting. Double reporting became a huge issue. I'm going to break it down. Why double reporting became an issue. During the pandemic, the city, Memphis is different from the county. But county, they have certain things. So we have the county health department. But even though we have the county health department, which is Shelby, we still have to go by the city. So we had to report our numbers, basically who have COVID, who don't have COVID, vaccinations, who was vaccinated, who have not been vaccinated. We had to report it to the city. We had to report it to the county. We had to report it to the state. We had to report it to the NHSN, which basically goes with CDC, because CMS said we had to do it with CDC. So now we had to do it with NHSN. That's 4 things. Same numbers. But we still got to report it to the corporate office of our company. Who have time to report things 5 times? 5 different ways, 5 different softwares, 5 different people you have to talk to. Then on top of that, NHSN is not user friendly. Every administrator will tell you they had a hard time just to get username and passwords. Guess what? They got fined because of that. Because they are waiting for username and passwords come in. They are telling us we have a certain time to put these numbers in. Certain numbers have to go in at a certain time. They didn't allow us to have a grace period of a nice time for a rollout. They got fined. So they get fined on the state. They want you to do it. Then if you don't do it on the state, guess what? The inspector investigators are coming to your building. And they want to see what's going on. And they'll tell you they want it this way. Then they, city, county, corporate, CMS said they want it this way. So as administrators, we was in between. We had an issue with all entities. And we was like, can't all you guys please just get on the same according, just get on the same boat. Then the crazy part is on the NHS end, they said that the county and the state can get the information from them. It was on the software. But guess what? If I tell the Shelby County or the city or the corporate office, you guys can get the numbers of NHSN. I don't have to send it in. We don't have access to that. We can't do that. So we need you guys to send it in right now. But NHSN said you guys have access. No, we don't have access. So send it in. And guess what corporate office is going to say? Send it in. But you still got to give these numbers to the corporate office. But corporate office can get their RDO or VP or someone clinical. Their names can go on the profile. So they can be able to see it. Some of them now do it. But during the beginning of the pandemic, they didn't do that. This is the beginning. They didn't do it. Now they got better because a lot of administrators voiced their opinion about it. But at the beginning, they didn't do this. NHSN always change what you have to report. You can go to NHSN one day and think, okay, you're going to report it like this. The following week, you have to report your numbers, or when something changed and you have to report it, you go back in, it's something totally different. You was like, wait a second, they changed it. They added something else. Then on top of that, they gave us a spreadsheet for all of the administrators to keep up with every resident and every staff that was their vaccination status. If they have a booster, how many, we had to keep that up. So just imagine you have an agency in a building. You have workers who ready to work. They leave within a week or 2 weeks. You still have to put that in there. You have to put that in there. Residents that come for short term for therapy, you have to put that in there on the Excel. This is nothing like you can scan. Like you can scan it on your PCC, but you still have to have it on Excel. And you have to upload it. And you have to keep it. This was terrible. Terrible. Double reporting. Terrible. I hated it. I'm a type of nursing home administrator. I can type 120 words per minute. I need to go see what's going on with my staff. I need to go see what's going on with my residents. I don't have time to be standing behind a computer all this time, double reporting. Then they tell you, yes, a nursing home administrator is 24/7. You don't pay me like 24/7. I have a family too. I need to get to and take care of. People don't want to hear that. But it's the truth. They tell me, well, we pay you all this money. You don't pay me 24/7. That's not okay. It's not right. It's not. I couldn't stand double reporting. Administrators would tell you there was no need for double reporting. Softwares, the NHSN gave us hell. A lot of administrators and administrative groups and everything. What do we report? What we reported? Did you guys username going in? Is the password going in? Is it down today? What is going on? Next thing you know, we have meetings with Shelby County CMS. We talking to them on the phone and giving our input. They don't know what's going on. They trying their best. They trying to give us information. Say, yes, you have to report this. Yes, you have to report this. Yes, you have to report this. Yes, you have to do this. Well, you guys go back and you do this all the time and see do this work. They don't have to do this. The nursing home administrators, the nursing home have to do this. This is where it gets hectic that we don't like. People who delegate things to us, but they don't understand what it means to be a nursing home administrator. Then you talking about some of these nursing home administrators who had an outbreak, who had to basically leave their nursing homes, and they still have to go through all these things. This is crazy. We hate double reporting. Figure it out. I don't care what you got to figure out. Just figure it out. We don't like it. Okay, we reported to NHSN. NHSN, figure it out. Make it easier. Stop always changing things. Every time we change, now here comes something else. All this with this rhino, this new trend of COVID. Oh my God. Then we still got to keep track of the pneumonia and the flu. Are you kidding me? We still have to do this. Double reporting became a huge issue with us. Let me get some more water. Thank you. Been talking a lot. Okay. So we got the double reporting taken care of. But of course I'm gonna go in more detail a little later. How much time we got? Okay. So we went over a lot of stuff. Oh, you guys, the next one, oh, I got some good for you. Oh, I got some good for you. Oh, yes. Like I said, I don't want to keep you guys that long because I think we already at 43 minutes, going on 44 minutes. So at least want to do this like 45 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. And like I said, this right here is going to be the voice of the administrators. I will be addressing a lot of things that administrators had to go through during this crazy time. Whatever it is, I'm going to say it. You will not mute me. I have a right to say it because I'm an advocate for the residents. And this is for the black communities and for as administrator. I didn't like the way the administrators was treated during this time. I'm going to come and ruffle a lot of feathers Everyone that affected the nursing home administrators, the way we did our job, I'm coming for you. Oh, it's going to get good. I'm going to name some names. I'm going to bring some stats. I'm going to bring some other people on here. It's going to get very, very, very good. I just wanted to test the waters for my first one. Oh, but we're going to get very good this one. Thank you guys for listening to me. You guys can see me. Inbox me on LinkedIn. Tammy Scott. I'm a nurse home administrator. I'm on there. You guys can check me out on the YouTube. BLAHC, BLAHC. You guys can go to BLAHC website, www.blahc.org. You guys can also go to IG, which is BLAHC-content. You guys can also check me out on Twitter, BLAHC on Twitter. I'm also on there. So I will have all those on here so you could be able to click on it. Please go and support me. Please, 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 please support me. Please support me. Press like, share, comment. If you agree with it, you don't agree with it, we're having a dialogue. Tell me how you feel and everything. But of course, you know, I'll address some of those comments as we go. If there's a topic that you guys would like me to address, please inbox me. You can inbox me. You can inbox me on Instagram. Like I said, on BLAHC-content. You guys can inbox me on Twitter, BLAHC. You can inbox me on LinkedIn as well. Okay? So the full episode of this will be on YouTube. So please share. Like. It doesn't matter. Like I said, this is for the administrators that's out there. Everyone that made it hard for nursing home administrators. During the 2023, like I said, I'm going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Some people are going to like it, some people not. Hey, it is what it is. We try to be nice. I try to be nice. I'm still going to be nice, but I'm still going to address my issues that I have. So please, thank you guys for watching. And guess what? I will be back next week.